my name is Simone Bridgeforth, and the topic of my presentation is Bunraku puppets. In the process of finding a topic to do my presentation on, Bunraku puppets appeared in my search results quite often. At the time, I really didn't know what these puppets were, but as I researched them a little bit further, I found the topic to be very interesting and fun. In this short video, I'm going to show you all a little bit about the history about the puppets, and I'm also going to do a tutorial on how to actually construct a simplified version of the Bunraku puppet. The history of Bunraku puppet theater began in the year 1612. It reached its peak in 1686 when Chikamatsu Manzemon began a collaboration with Takemoto Gidayu. They established the Takemoto Puppet Theater in Osaka, Japan in the year 1684. Bunraku puppets are half-life-size dolls operated by 3 different performers. The performers do not use strings, but instead they cooperate to manipulate the puppet's limbs, eyes, eyebrows, and mouth to create lifelike actions and facial expressions on stage. The chanter sits to the right side of the stage on a slightly elevated platform. The chanter is the voice of all of the puppets, including the men, women, and children. The player also sits to the right side of the stage, and the player provides musical elements to the drama. The true art of Bunraku puppet theater is the achievement of 3 elements. The 3 elements are the puppet, the chanter, and the player. The puppets are very complex and intricate in design. They require 3 puppeteers to manipulate each doll. The first operator is Omozukai, and he operates the head, face, and right hand of the puppet. The second operator is Hidari Zukai, and he uses his right hand to operate the left hand of the puppet. The third operator is Ashi Zukai, and he uses his hands to suggest the movements of the doll's feet. The puppet appears on stage with all 3 puppeteers. The operators are dressed in black robes to signify that nothing is behind the puppet. However, in some cases, the main operator appears in a kimono marked with his family's crest and his face is visible. The head of the puppet is carved out of wood and is hollow. The head is then placed on top of a special head grip stick. The arms and legs are each attached separately to the shoulder board by strings, but female puppets do not have legs at all. Instead, the foot puppeteers place his fist in the hem of the doll's robe to appear to make the doll have feet. Much like earlier themes of puppet theater, the themes of Bunraku theater reflected prevailing Buddhist and Confucian morals of Edo period society in which most contemporary plays were set. These shows were often based on adaptations of tragic love stories, heroic legends, and tales based on historical events. Now I'm going to make a simplified version of a Bunraku puppet. There aren't any tutorials for making a real Bunraku puppet online, and through my research I learned that it takes years of training, heavy costuming, and a lot of time to create a real puppet. To make this simplified version, I'm using paper, a template I found online, brass fasteners, and a pair of scissors. The first step to construction is to cut out the figures. After all the pieces are cut out, the next step is to decorate. What I did to decorate mine was I drew a costume that I'm going to cut out in a few minutes, and I also drew something to put on the puppet's head in order to make it look a little bit more authentic. You can decorate these puppets any way you want to. This is just the way I chose to decorate mine. Once everything is done, your next step before costuming is actually going to be to take your scissors and to poke a small hole right about here in each arm and leg, and after you do that, that makes it easier to stick the brass fastener into the hole that you're going to make with that So I'm going to do that right now. After decoration, your puppet is now ready for show. Because of the brass fasteners that I used to connect the arms and legs of this paper puppet, the puppeteer is now able to move the arms and legs of this one, much like a real puppeteer would be able to move the arms and legs and head of a real Bunraku puppet. This is a very simplified version of the Bunraku puppet, but I made this as a visual aid. So here's my puppet's face, body, costume, and the puppet's feet.